Hi, my name is Søren. Welcome to my diary. As I rather enjoy these weekly, monthly, occasional updates from my favorite YouTubers, I thought I would do some of my own. They will be occasional because I don't think I will have enough material for weekly or even monthly updates. This first one, I'm doing a bit of handwork, a bit of machining, a bit of work on the Marini, and I'm doing a copycat job. Some time ago, my younger sister bought a 70s lamp that was missing a bracket in one side, the bracket that holds the lamp. And she's been wanting to hang this lamp for a very long time. But I finally pulled myself together and I made this copy of the bracket. I use this old sign as material. It's my old house number. I don't have any use for it anymore because I've made a mailbox where I've routed the number in. It had the correct dimensions. I had some other new aluminium, but it was a bit too thick. And this one had the exact thickness I wanted. At times like this, I really miss having a bandsaw. But as usual, it's a question of too little money and too little space also. But of course, a jigsaw will also suffice. As far as it goes, I always use machines when possible. But I've lived a lot of my life without having machines. So I'm quite capable of making precise objects with handwork. And as this object doesn't require very much of precision, I wouldn't even consider making it with the machine. It's much faster just to do it in by hand. The last time I had to make a large round hole, I ended up doing it by hand, even though it would have been faster with my boring head. But I haven't got any tools for it. I simply haven't found anyone that would match my budget. And as the lathe was occupied by the crankshaft grinding project, I wasn't able to make what I'm now making. It's simply a reduction sleeve where I can put a 10mm tool, round tool bit into. It's a fairly simple build. The only complex thing about it is the angled hole, or the hole that is angled lengthwise to the sleeve. Precision is only required on the inside and outside diameters, and the angle of the hole is of course there to make sure that the cutting edge of the tool bit will be further out than the sleeve, so the sleeve won't scrape at deep pocket holes. I might, when it comes to use, shorten it a bit because it's a bit large overhang, but for now I will leave it like this. At least I have the possibility to go into rather deep holes. And maybe some ready-made, perfectly fitting tools will turn up. Some weeks ago, I was on a small tour to Germany. I was visiting some Morini friends, and on the tour, the Morini gave up charging the battery. At my friend's shop, we found out that the problem was with the stator, the coils of the stator. So I had to charge the battery fully and then ride home. For those who are not familiar with the Morini, the Morini has a separate coil for the ignition system, so it will run with no battery. So the only reason to have a fully charged battery is, of course, to have brake lights, indicators, and so on. As I've over the years hoarded a small spare parts supply, I had a stator in working order. It's actually the one I show in the video about Morini ignition. The one with a primary coil that measures 190 ohms. So I mounted that one instead, and I will then in time, if needed, rewind the other stator. I might do that simply to make an instruction video of sorts. And at this place I would like to again point out that you shouldn't put grease on a taper, and you should always tighten this nut to the correct specifications. So if you're doing regular work on your Morini, get yourself a torque wrench. I've had this adjustable spanner lying around for some time now. It had lost its pin, and it has actually been lying around since before I got my lathe. So somehow I've forgotten the possibility to make a new pin yourself. But yesterday I was watching John Mills repairing an even larger spanner. So today I've of course went straight to the shop and made a copy of his workpiece. I wasn't able to make an exact copy of John's workpiece because it was clear to see that it was some sort of fine thread. And to measure such a small inside thread is a bit difficult. So an M8 screw would go in and catch the first thread. But to measure the pitch, I used the next smaller screw, and
it was a perfect fit. So this was of course an M6 with which has an 1 millimeter pitch. As I didn't have any M8 screws with a 1 millimeter pitch or even a die that I could cut it with, I had to do it on the lathe, and that gave me an opportunity to try out my diamond tool holder for thread cutting. As material, I used a threaded rod I had lying around. It's usually rather nice quality material, so, and as you see from the chips, it's easy to machine. As the diamond tool holder requires quite some space on the left hand side, I made the thread farthest away from the chuck. Thread cutting, I do what some here in Europe call the American way. I've never heard it before until I met some or talked to some Germans. But it's the way I was taught, so to me it's the Danish way. The thread was cut rather tight fitting, so it will stay in place. And unlike John, I chose to make a slot for a screwdriver, as I would like to have the possibility to remove it. Not that I think I will ever need to, but just in case. So again, big thanks to John for inspiring me.
That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed. As I get a bit more comfortable in front of the camera and get used to speaking English while working, I hope I can cut a bit down on the voiceover parts and have some more live footage. But thanks for watching.